friends, we are back with what, episode 4 of the Hannah Swensen mystery series. This is a spoiler video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go read the book and come back. I'll be honest, the book's pretty mediocre. What really I love about this series is that we get to bake with one another, and that's the fun thing about this. This is a little murder mystery series. These mysteries give like something your grandma would read, but the recipes are so fun, and we will definitely be making a lemon meringue pie as well as 1 or 2 other things. I know in the later books in the series there are some savory recipes, which I'm dying for, because as somebody who does love sweets, my husband doesn't love sweets, and it's just us, so I can only make so many sweet treats for this video. I'll make at least 2 things, but if there is something savory in here, we may just be able to make 3 things, but we will see. This will be completely spoiler filled. So the premise of this series is we have got our main girl. Her name is Hannah, and Hannah owns the Cookie Jar, which is the bakery in this town in Lake Eden, Minnesota. And Hannah she owns the bake shop. We have her mother, whose name is Dolores. She has her sister Andrea. She's got her niece Tracy, and she has 2 love interests. We have got Norm, he is the dentist. We have Mike, he is a police officer. I am team Norm, okay? I cannot stand Mike. But she keeps finding herself in the middle of these crime investigations. She keeps stumbling upon the dead bodies. But let's find out what the lemon meringue pie murder is all about. The residents of Lake Eden, Minnesota are planning to paint the town red, white, and blue to celebrate the 4th of July, but the fireworks are already going off at Hannah Swensen's cake shop, the Cookie Jar. Hannah Swensen thought she'd finally discovered a recipe for the perfect life, but her sometimes beau, that's how you just know, and I will warn you guys, there's a lot of talk about weight in these books. I'm hoping in the later books it's less so, but it's very prevalent in these first few, because these came out, I think, in the early 2000s, 2003. When her sometimes beau, Norman Rhodes, tosses a surprise ingredient into the mix when he phones to tell her that he's just bought a house from the local drugstore clerk, Rhonda Schaaf, or I don't know how to say that name, from Rhonda, which he plans to tear down in order to build the dream home he and Hannah designed. It seems that his plan has been cooking for quite some time, and Hannah's shocked, especially since her ring finger is still very much bare. And the good news is that soon-to-be torn-down house is full of antiques, and Norman has given Hannah and her mother first dibs. Her mom runs an antique shop. They uncover some gorgeous old furniture, a patchwork quilt, and Rhonda's dead body. What? A little more sleuthing turns up a half-eaten remains of a very special dinner for 2 and one of the Cookie Jar's famous lemon meringue pies. Now it's up to Hannah to turn up the heat and get busy tracking down clues, starting in her very own kitchen. Does it suck for you guys if I look at the recipes beforehand? I mean, I'm going to, whether you hate that or not. I like to know. Is there no table of contents? There was in the last one. Oh, it's probably... We've got lemon meringue pie, almond kisses, walnut toes, cinnamon crisps, praline charlottes, mystery cookies, cottage cheese pancakes, orange snaps, and pineapple right side up cookie bar. I already know I kind of want to do the almond kiss, whatever that is. I do love almond. Oh, almond extract. This is for sure happening. But yes, let us jump in. I will probably come in at like 30%, 60%, 100% with my thoughts and feelings and all of the info on what is going down at the Cookie Jar. Okay, friends, we are about to get started on the lemon meringue pie murder. I'm hoping to listen to the whole thing today. For sure make the pie today. I don't know that I'll make the cookies today because I currently have muffins that I made the other day, and then I'm going to have this pie. If the pie is gross, I might make the cookies, because if the pie is gross, I'm just throwing it away. I'm going to be honest. But I got the ingredients to make the key lime pie, or not key lime, lemon meringue pie and the almond kisses. So hopefully those are good. This will be a full spoiler vlog, so if you don't want to know what happens, move along. I also did just recently purchase the next book in the series, and there are like some that I really don't like what the title, like the thing is I want to make like the title thing, but like I know one of them coming up is peach cobbler, and I hate peaches, so I probably won't make the title one if it's something I don't think there's a chance that I'm gonna like. I think I'll like lemon pie. I might peel off the meringue part, but let's get into it and see what Hannah gets herself up to this time. Okay guys, we are about a third of the way through the lemon meringue pie murder, and we are about to go and we are about to get started on making the lemon meringue pie, but I wanted to go over my notes. So to catch you guys up, if you've not read this series, this is about this girl Hannah. The like main characters in play is Hannah. She owns a bakery called the Cookie Jar. There's Lisa, who works with her at the Cookie Jar. Her mom's name is Dolores. Her mom's very overbearing, like, you need to get married and have babies type vibes. These books were written a while ago. The copyright on this one is 2003, and it is very obvious. There is Norman. He is the town dentist who Hannah's mom, Dolores, is constantly trying to set her up with, and she's like been dating on and off. There's Mike. He's a sheriff. She also dates him on and off. Then we have her sister, Andrea, who has her niece, Tracy, and is also pregnant. And then she has a younger sister, Michelle. Those are like the constant characters. So the book started off literally immediately with all of the really weird comments about weight. This is a reoccurring theme in this series, and again, I don't know when like the newest books were published, but I'm hoping as we get to like book 30, maybe this is a less of a thing. But right in the beginning, Hannah's saying how she needs to lose 20 pounds. She keeps saying that she's overweight and needs low-cal salad dressing and to limit her food intake. Also making references to like the kitchen wall phone is so 2003. But Norman calls her in the beginning, basically telling her that he needs a favor and he needs to reserve a table at the Cookie Jar because he just bought a house and he wants to celebrate. And the house that he bought is a wreck. He plans on just tearing it down and then building this house that he and Hannah had kind of made blueprints for. And it's this thing where everybody's kind of thinking maybe he's building it for them, but they've talked obnoxiously about how he has not proposed to her yet, and she's all like, oh, he's not proposing to me because I'm 20 pounds overweight. It's literally so cringe. We find out that her younger sister Michelle is coming back into town, so everybody's excited about that. She keeps saying things like you can't have cookies, that she can't have cookies because she's on a diet, she can't do this because she's on a diet, and that maybe that's why Norman won't marry her. Lisa, though saying some problematic things, did say a really good point about how you don't go on a diet and lose weight because of a man. Like, that's ridiculous behavior. Oh my god, you guys are gonna die. But then she quickly eliminates anything good that she says by being like, oh yeah, well if you want to for XYZ, do it. I'll go make some coffee. So which is like a super wild statement to make, and I'm not liking that. But also Hannah's saying she doesn't want a cell phone because she doesn't want an electronic leash. Is just so funny. It's just so funny like reading this in the 2026 perspective. So Rhonda is who sold the house to Norman, and so they kind of all meet at the Cookie Jar to sign the paperwork, blah blah blah. She and Norman kind of have this agreement that she's gonna go back over the next couple of days to kind of get like some family heirlooms. She asks like the lawyers if they need to have this in writing. They're like, no, as long as you guys are in agreement, no big deal. It's not a problem. So we know that that's happening. We know that she's also planning a trip to Rome. She doesn't say if she's going alone or with anybody, so, but that's just what we kind of know about Rhonda. And so Hannah's mom calls her basically asking if she will come with her and Norman up to the house because Norman's kind of giving her mom Dolores free reign of whatever antiques she wants for the house, because in the last book her mom opened an antique shop. So Hannah agrees because she owns a pickup truck, so she goes with them, and they're kind of talking about how the house is really clean and how Rhonda had a cleaning lady, so that's in my mind already a suspect because you know from the back that Rhonda is the one who dies, okay? So her cleaning lady, possible. If she was going to Rome with somebody, I'm kind of suspicious of that person. But then the mom finds one of Hannah's pies covered in ants, and it's a lemon meringue pie, so it's one she knows she made a couple of days ago, and so they're like, what is it doing like on the ground covered in ants? What's going on? Super strange. Then Dolores finds a body in the basement. So Mike and Hannah go down there to confirm what was saw. The police come, and it's this whole thing. Hannah doesn't want to, or back up. They are trying to figure out how Rhonda got the pie. Lisa, who works with Hannah, is basically like, I keep track of who buys pies so that whenever you make them, I can call and see if they want one when it's their favorite. And Rhonda didn't buy a whole pie. Like, I can call you and let you know who bought pies. So we're gonna get that list, which is gonna, we haven't gotten it yet, which is gonna be our list of suspects, or possible suspects. Because anybody could get a pie and gift it to somebody who could have then brought it to her. Because they're kind of under the assumption that Rhonda had somebody over because there was 2 of this like dish there for dinner, 1 eaten, 1 uneaten, and there was 2 glasses of wines that were drank. So somebody was there at some point, and so Hannah doesn't really want to get involved, kind of like how all these stories go. Like, she's trying to not get involved, and then she has to get involved. Her mom's shockingly trying to make her be involved, even though her mom has been adamant during all of these murders that she can't get involved. No man's gonna want to marry her, blah, 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 blah. Mike, the police officer, is like, don't get involved. And then her sister's like, girl, you gotta get involved. I'm pregnant and bored. Please give me something interesting to do. So she agrees, and she has her sister start calling around restaurants to find one that sold this specific dish on Friday to kind of, you know, lay some groundwork. Let's build up what's going on. They also find out Dolores claims, which Dolores is a big fibber. Like, she lied to the police about what happened. Like, she's like, there was these huge rats in this trail of blood, and very over exaggerating. But she claims that she knows somebody whose son was one of the like ambulance workers, and it appears that Rhonda was stabbed in between 2 ribs into the heart and died. 1 stab wound. Andrea, Hannah's sister, really wants Hannah to also get involved, like to start working on the case, because she wants the mom to get out of there. She thinks she's just gonna mess everything up. Dolores, the mom, also has a theory that Rhonda possibly lived multiple lives, having multiple boyfriends. I don't know about that. And the newest piece of information that's very interesting is that Hannah realized that Rhonda's car was not at the house. And so she needs to figure out if it's at her apartment. But if it's not at the house, that means somebody was there with her and left her. Also, it appears that they were trying to bury her body in the basement. So she's pretty convinced it's a murder. And now we gotta pick up the pieces. But we are about to get started on this lemon meringue pie. It seems kind of tricky, if I'm being really honest. So I need to bake the pie sheet. So I'll do that while I work on the rest. I don't think I have the proper things to make a double boiler, because I don't own a glass bowl. So we're gonna just have to do it the other way, which is you just have to stir constantly. The double boiler makes it more foolproof. So we will see how this goes, but I'm gonna go get everything set up in the kitchen, and we're gonna get into our lemon meringue pie. Okay, friends, we are gonna trying to do a different angle than last time. Okay, so we have got our pie crust out of the oven. It does need to cool completely, so I am just gonna take her, here she is, and put it in the fridge so that it's cool for when we need it. So into the fridge she's gonna go. I'm a bit stressed out about this recipe, but we're gonna kill it. So I got out basically everything that we're gonna need here. I need like a weight to keep this open. Okay. So for the filling, you need 3 whole eggs and 4 egg yolks. So I just got out all the eggs. We have a couple of brown eggs left and some white eggs. And then you save the whites for making the meringue. Okay, we need sugar. We've got sugar here. We need water. We've got a sink right there. We need cornstarch. So I got the cornstarch. We need lemon juice and lime juice. We've got both of those. Grated lemons. Boom. 1 tablespoon of butter. And then for the meringue, we'll need those whites. We will need sugar, salt, and cream of tartar. So with that, we're killing it. So this says using a double boiler make this recipe foolproof, but if you're very careful, stirring constantly so it doesn't scorch, you can make the lemon filling in a heavy saucepan, which is what we're gonna do because I don't have the correct things to make a double boiler. So we're gonna use this saucepan to make the filling, okay? Let me move y'all. Okay, so this is going to involve me needing to be stirring constantly. So I want to just make sure I'm not using this at like a super high heat. So it's telling me to like get the, what's it called, going, get the double boiler going and get it to a boil. But since we're not using a double boiler, we can just put this here and let it sit, because we are going to beat the egg yolks with the whole eggs. Off the heat, beat the egg yolks with the eggs. And then add water and combine the juices, the sugar, the cornstarch in a small bowl. Stir until blended. Add it to the egg mixture in top of the boiler. Then place the top of it. Okay, so it's saying to like get this hot, mix everything together, and then put it on top of the double boiler, stirring it until it thickens, which would be about 10 minutes, and then kind of just put it to the side to cool while you make the meringue. So we are gonna do the filling. We're gonna put it in our mixing bowl, and then I will have to clean it before we can make the meringue, but that's fine. That's the option that we have because I don't want to use a hand mixer. Period. Like what can, like I need to move this. What can I put on here? I guess I can put the sugar jar. That would probably work. Works perfect. Okay. So we are gonna do the egg yolks and the whole eggs, and I need, this is gonna be so gross, a dish to put the, I don't know if, I'm gonna use one of these dishes, one of these bowls, okay, to put the egg whites in, because we will use that for the meringue situation. So let's start with the eggs. We need 3 whole eggs, so we have 3 brown whole eggs. So we will do that. I'm also gonna get out a second dish to put the shells in so I don't have to keep running back and forth. And then we are gonna need 4 that are just the yolk, and we will save the whites to the side. So lots of eggs. So I am just gonna start with the whole eggs that we're using here. I don't know why I'm trying to like be particular and not get egg everywhere when I'm gonna have to like separate them, but whatever. So that's egg 1, 1 whole egg, 2 whole eggs, 3 full eggs, and then we're gonna need 4 yolks. So I know you can do the like with the shell. I just think that that method is way more difficult than just using your hands, if I'm being honest with you. And I can try, but yeah, the yolk's just like coming out. I'm gonna try to do it this way where I don't have to use my hands as much, but okay, it worked out pretty good. Ew. And so 1 yolk, got the whites over here. Cause I know a meringue is like mainly just like egg white. I feel like that it's like egg white and sugar. I don't know. I don't love the idea of the meringue portion of this pie because it's giving me the same kind of feeling as like a cream, like a whipped cream. And obviously not anything like a whipped cream, but I don't like anything like that. It's just like a Cool Whip. I don't know. The white creamy toppings just don't work for me. Okay, and then 1 more egg to separate. This is going actually pretty smoothly. They do sell like tools you can use to like separate eggs, but I don't do it often enough to warrant an entire tool for it. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands immediately. Amazing. So I'm gonna put these whites to the side for now. And go toss these shells. Okay, so we've got that. This just needs to kind of be beat to begin with. We'll start by beating this. So we are gonna beat this nonsense up. We're gonna beat her ass, baby. To add to this a half of a cup of water. So we've got half of a cup of water. The lime juice and the lemon juice combined, it is 1/3 cup of lemon juice and 1/8 cup of lime, which I looked up, and that is about 1/4 of a cup. So we just turn over here. I'm gonna put in here 1/3 of a cup of lemon. And 2 tablespoons of lime, because that would equal 1/8 of a cup, according to the internet. Okay, so it says to add that. And get that in there. So we will over here add this and combine. Okay, so that's now all mixed. So we're gonna go back over here, and it now says to combine the sugar and cornstarch in a small bowl and kind of blend it together, and then add it to that. While that's happening, I'm gonna start heating up my pan to like a medium heat. And what is this? So sugar and cornstarch. We need half of a cup of sugar. Lots of, this is 1/4 of a cup, but I'll just do 2 of these because it's what I found first. 1 and 2. And 1/4 cup of cornstarch. So it actually works out because I need the 1/4 cup anyway. So we're dirtying less things. And I'll need the 1/4 cup again for the meringue. So honestly, we're killing it. This is very messy, but okay. I actually don't know that I've made lots of pies with my grandma, like apple pies, but I don't know that I've ever made a pie like for fun. Unless a cheesecake counts as a pie, which I feel like that's like a talked about argument on if it does. It's, at least in the When in Rome series, it's a book series by Sarah Adams, it does come up in there, but we will see. So I'm going to mix this and then put this into the eggs until it is completely blended, and then I'm going to put it on the double boiler until it thickens, so possibly around 5 minutes. I'm just going to grab a whisk to combine the sugar and the baking powder. Lots of smoke. Okay, now let's go back over to the mixer and add this in. It's not all that much, so it's like less than a cup worth of stuff. So Just gonna dump her in. And lock her back up. And put her on low and get her mixing. Okay, we're gonna take this over here, and I am going to off camera thoroughly wash the bowl before we make the meringue. But before we even put this on the double boiler, there is something that I want to do, because we're gonna add the butter and the zest after this is done cooking, but I think it would be beneficial. The butter is obviously right here, but if I did the butter, have the butter and the zest already ready, so that I can just kind of put it in and not have to like sit and freak out and blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to get out my zester, which I hate using, but I will do it. Here it is. I don't really know what 1 to 2 teaspoons of zest looks like, so I'm just gonna zest the lemons and hope for the best. I just literally almost put the lemon in the sink. I think we're pretty much good on that. Okay, doke. Next up is now going to be to say like what to mix it with. Just has to stir it frequently, but then if you're not using a rubber boil, just stir it constantly. I'm gonna use a rubber spatula, and then like I said, I will then take the stirring constantly so you don't get scrambled eggs. I am not feeling good about the filling. It is very lumpy, and there's definitely like chunks of burnt in it, but I tried my best. So that's really all we're looking for here. So this is definitely better to use with an electric mixer to do the meringue. So we need those. We need to add the cream of tartar, 1/2 of a teaspoon. Get one of those out. 1/4 of a teaspoon. My dad got me some snazzy new measuring spoons. So 1/2 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And the salt, which is 1/8 of a teaspoon. So for that, we just kind of probably good, whatever. Beat this as I sprinkle in the sugar, which is gonna be 1/4 of a cup. So I will just get my sugar ready, I guess. And then beat them on high until they form soft peaks. Then continue beating as you sprinkle in the sugar. When the egg whites form peaks, stop mixing. Okay, so we're gonna get this going, I guess, until it starts to form peaks, and then we add in the sugar is kind of what I am gathering. I do want to get that cream of tartar off the edge because I know that that won't mix in. So we're gonna go with this on top of here. Okay, I think my meringue came out good. It says you should be able to do this and it doesn't move, like we're at Dairy Queen, and that's happening. So first things first is we need to put the filling in the pie crust. The filling is where I think things are going wrong, unfortunately, because the texture of it is disgusting. But hey, like I said, if it's gross, I'm just gonna throw the pie away and call it a day. This pan does like burn easily, so I don't think I should have used this pan. I think that was also a pretty fatal mistake on my part, was my choice of pan. But hey, that's fine. That was the choice we made. So we are just going to, you know, take this little chunk that's like a piece of skin of the pan. We're gonna get her right out of here. No, don't want that present. Yeah, I don't think that this pie is gonna be good, but there's been things that I've made from these books that I thought were gonna be good and were bad. So maybe it'll surprise us. So I'm gonna use a separate thing here. Now it has some very specific instructions on doing the meringue situation. So it says to cover it and seal it over the edges of the crust. Otherwise it will shrink when you bake it. So we'll do our best with whatever the frick that means. You know, you don't want to like be too rough with something like this because you whipped all of that air into it. And if you're like super rough with it, the air will all come out. Is this how you make like a flambe? Is that what's on like things that are flambéed? So just gonna seal it to the edges. I don't really know what that means, if I'm being so honest. So here's what we're gonna do. Hope for the best, per usual. Like this, I'm assuming, is like sealing it to the edge. Would you say yes or would you say no? I don't have you here to tell me, so. I think if we completely cover the crust, you can't argue that it's not sealed to the edge. This is gonna be an experience. I am gonna make, Chris is home from work today, so he's for sure gonna taste test this with me. Okay, so I think we're sealed edges, sure. And then it says to take the flat side to make points in the meringue, like this, I think, to make it look like fancy. I don't know, man. This seems like it's gonna be really yucky. And it says to cook for no more than 10 minutes. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven for 10 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay guys, we are about to get the pie out of the oven, and it says let it cool to room temperature on a wire rack. So, wire rack. It looks fancy, that I can say. I did achieve the fancy look. Here it is. I'll show you guys up close. Give me one moment. Here she is. It looks like a fancy pie, but I don't think it's gonna be good, but we'll find out later. All right, friends, it's time. We've got a special guest, my husband.
Oh yeah, it's me.
What have I told you about this pie? Are you like so excited to try it?
You have not been hyping it up. All day you're like, oh yeah, it's just egg. It's scrambled eggs. It's scrambled eggs. Like it's not gonna be good. So, she hasn't really been making it exciting to try it.
It looks cute.
I mean, that looks good.
Neither
right?
of us are really in the mood for this, but I want to get this taken care of, this experiment. Can you give me a little plate? I can't reach them.
2 or 1?
No, just 1. We're just gonna take a little bitey poo.
Okay. Yeah, at the middle.
Oh, I hate this texture. The top is like almost like a marshmallow texture. I've never had meringue.
Yeah, I have.
Is it supposed to be like a marshmallow like this?
Yeah.
So that like seems correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It was like you had to make sure you seal it or it was gonna shrink.
Interesting. Is it?
It's very wet in here.
Ooh, it is very wet. Why is it so wet?
I don't know. The wetness is a mystery.
Okay.
I hate how it looks. It looks so yucky. Go show the people.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, champ.
And I'm gonna show you guys the liquid.
I'm waiting for it to focus.
Just click on it. Boop. It looks bad.
Yeah, what do y'all think? Oh, there we go. Boom.
And then here's the weird liquid. Can you hit it? That is happening in here.
You see all that liquid? You zoom in on it.
It's really gross. Anyhow.
Anywho.
Maybe it's gonna taste amazing.
It's supposed to be lemon, right?
It's got lemon and lime in it. Make sure you get some of the topping.
All right, we're trying it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bone apple teeth.
1, 2, 3.
That was fucked up. That was fucked up.
How is it?
It does not taste like eggs. It's very lemon limey. It is very lemon limey.
It's one of the grossest textures I've ever tasted in my life.
Yeah, I don't know if the base, whatever this is, the filling.
It's not like stiff, it's too loose. And the topping is the texture of soap.
Texture, it's like bubble bath.
Yeah, I hate everything about it. I like the taste of the base, but the texture is like, you know how key lime pie is like more, it's kind of like a more thickery, custardy situation.
Yeah.
This is more like a loose pudding.
Yeah, I think this, because I also have not had key lime pie in I don't know how long, so I don't even know if this is correct or not, but.
I love key lime pie. Like this part looks a little bit better.
I mean, like, yeah, I like the citrusiness of it, but I don't think I could eat it again.
No. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
I give it a 4. I give it a 4.
Well, enjoy the next part of my chit chat about the book, and then I'll catch you guys when I make the Almond Kisses.
Well, listen, they can't all be bangers.
No. And Chris, you wanna do the honors
What am I doing?
with the rest of the pie? What's the, make like the sound like a funeral?
Yeah, what's the funeral? I was just about to do it, I swear to God. Wait, I almost did the fucking Sith Lord song from Star Wars.
It was not good. Okay, y'all, we are about 60%, I lied, 65% of the way through the book now. I am, you know, experiencing it. We're in my office because I'm too lazy to go in my room. So, Marjorie is the name of the cleaner, and Hannah went to go talk to her, but she was kind of in the clear. We found out that based on like the list of people who bought pies, this lady Claire, who owns the clothing store, she bought 3 pies, so she was the most likely suspect to give one to Rhonda. They found out her car is still at her apartment, so she must have gotten a ride to the house, and that she died sometime between 6 and 10 p.m. on Friday night, based on the contents of her stomach. So Hannah and Andrea go to the store to question Claire. Claire says, yeah, she did give a pie to Rhonda. Rhonda was there. She asked for one. It was like fine. There's this guy, Reverend Newston, who is very suspicious, very sus as possibly somebody who could have killed her. But when they went to go talk with the cleaner, they were gossiping with her and learned that she possibly would stay at the house with different lovers and that she never cleaned the basement or the attic. We found out that Jed, who's been doing some handyman work at the shop, was in jail, and she thinks that he's lying about things. He also has a like mentally disabled nephew who he is kind of training, but Hannah doesn't like the way he's treating him. So I do find Judd to be very suspicious because of that. They keep bringing him up. Mike takes Hannah to the restaurant that has the salt and buca or something. The meal that they had, and figured out that is where it came from. They do it on Fridays, and only 6 people had ordered it. So she's kind of going through the list to figure out who it could be, and the Reverend was on that list. He was very suspicious. He always has meetings on Fridays though, so it kind of cleared him, because if he's at a meeting, he couldn't be killing Rhonda. And then Mike and Hannah went to go pick up Michelle, so she's like on the scene now. But he also has an alibi because he was on a date that night, so we know that he wasn't with her. There was an incident at the pharmacy. Also possibly the same thing as the, like, I don't know if they're using pharmacy and drugstore together, but I'll find that out more now, as where I'm getting right now. But there was an incident there that did involve Rhonda. She worked at the pharmacy, and somebody came knocking at the door late at night. She let them in, and this person got some kind of like confidential information, and Reggie, the guy who works at the pharmacy, or not Reggie, no. The guy who runs the pharmacy, I didn't write down his name, ended up having to fire Rhonda for letting the guy in. The guy she let in name was Reggie, or the guy whose information was gotten, his name was Reggie, and there's a possibility he could have been the one to kill her, because he was threatening to sue the pharmacy, and or the pharmacist could have killed her. We don't know. Kenneth, who works at the school, is also a suspect. He is one of the other people who ordered a pie, and Hannah suspects that he is Rhonda's boyfriend because he has the same cologne that she smelt at Rhonda's house. We are still way overly talking about weight to the point that it's like actually pissing me off. And yeah, so now they're kind of finding out that Michelle had spent some time at the drugstore looking for rhinestones because Norman made her a retainer that kind of gives her tooth gems in the 2003 time zone. So it's kind of where we're at. It's like, honestly, we're at the point where I'm actively getting pissed off at this book, but whatever. Let's go make some cookies. Okay guys, we are getting into now the Almond Kisses. And I'm telling you right now, this video is going to be a biatch to edit because I'm filming this over like many days and all out of order. But we're in need of some sweet treats in this house. So we're gonna make these cookies and hope they go better than that pie, because that pie was not good. So, ingredients, 3 sticks of butter, melted. So I am going to just toss these into a bowl and pop it in the microwave while I go over the rest of the ingredients with you. Because I feel like this is gonna take a minute to melt. It says to melt it in the microwave. And pretty much every saucepan that I own is dirty. We're at that point of the week where my husband's been at work and hasn't done the dishes, and I do most of the household tasks. His things are dishes, toilets, and the yard, and mine is everything else, including the cooking. So I can't be bothered to do the dishes. So it's fine. This is so much butter. It's crazy. I don't know how many, it doesn't say how many cookies this yields at the top of the recipe. Maybe it says later on, but we will find out. I'm gonna put that in for a minute. And we'll see where the wind takes us. So we're gonna need sugar, we got that here. We are going to need vanilla. I have the homemade vanilla my friend Emily made me. We are going to need almond extract, we've got that. We are going to need both soda and powder, so we've got those. We're gonna need molasses, so we've got that. Also, I don't know why it says 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons. Just say 2 tablespoons. I don't think anybody has 1/8 of a cup. That's crazy. 2 eggs, salt, which we've got up here, almonds, boom, 4 cups of flour, and Hershey Kisses. I didn't realize that I think I really needed 2 of these bags of Kisses because I was just going by what the recipe said, and then it says basically later in the recipe, if you want to be fancy and like splurge, then you do double it. So I have to cut all of these in half. Obnoxious. But anyway, I hated that noise. Okay. So microwave the butter until it's melted, and then we're gonna add the sugar, the vanilla, and the almond and the butter into a mixing bowl and stir it until it is blended, and then we're gonna add the baking soda and the baking powder. So I think I'm just gonna get the sugar put in. We need 2 cups. That's gotta be good enough. That's melted enough, okay? It's like exploding in there. Butter, okay. Let me bring you guys a bit closer. Maybe we'll do one of these. Is this better? There we go, butter. 2 cups of sugar. I think I'm gonna need to fill the sugar jar at this juncture. I don't know that there is 2 cups in here, but my hands are not big enough to just hold this like that. Okay. About 1 cup. Yep, I just spilled that all over the floor, which is one of my pet peeves in life. I feel like sugar is one of those things that when you spill it, no matter how hard you try to wipe it up, it's like getting stuck to your socks, getting stuck to your feet. It just like stays wherever forever. Oh God. That's flour. Oh my God, do not tell me that I do not have more sugar. Oh my gosh, okay. Hopefully this is a cup because I apparently don't have further sugar. Why do I do this? I had flour, not sugar. I'm back up. It's like about a little less than 2 cups of sugar. I think I will just toss in a little bit of brown sugar. We're using molasses anyway, and brown sugar is just sugar with molasses. So I feel like it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'll just do a little bit less molasses. You know what I mean? I feel like it would have been easier than buying molasses if they would have just had us do brown sugar to begin with. But hey, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? It probably won't, because baking is more so an exact art, but we're gonna pretend like it's gonna be okay, because it's the option that we have. So the sugar, we need the vanilla and the almond, which is a teaspoon of both. Teaspoon. Oh, it just smells so good. Vanilla. Smells like a candle, but in a good way. And almond. Okay. And the molasses, which is 2 tablespoons. Molasses is something else. I'm not looking forward to this because I don't really know how you're meant to like get it out of this thing, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like it's impossible, but I'm gonna go with that's good enough on the molasses front. Also, oh my gosh, it's just like, it gets everywhere. There's nothing you can do about the fact that it just gets everywhere. The way this is good till 2030 is actually crazy. Okay, so do all of that, and then I'm gonna go mix this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret. I did add a little bit more almond because I realized I don't have enough almonds for the almond portion. I apparently epically failed at this recipe, but we're gonna add the baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt. Probably fine. I don't ever measure the salt because the measurements that they give you are so minuscule. I literally vacuumed and I feel like I have salt everywhere. Sugar, vanilla, almond flour, da 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 da. Then add baking soda, baking powder, and the salt. And it is 1 teaspoon of both baking powder and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So there's the powder. Okay, and then we're gonna move into the soda. 1.5. And then we're gonna get that mixing. Okay, up next we need to add the almonds. You needed to ground them. Mine were already sliced, so I just grounded them. You're supposed to have a cup and a half after we ground. I don't know, it's probably like a cup. It's all good. That I actually don't think is going to matter. Then they wanted you to pre-beat the 2 eggs and add that in. And then we add the flour. Okay, the dough is done, which is good. It's looking like cookie dough. I am going to take the whole mixing bowl and pop it in the fridge to give it some time a little bit of time to firm up while I tend to the Hershey Kisses. So. She's looking cute. Also, I hate that it smells really good. I hate that it says we have to make them into walnut-sized balls. I literally don't know how big that is. And I feel like that's not the first time we've come across that. But let's get into the Hershey Kiss business. Read the recipe. This yields 10 to 12 dozen cookies. I'm assuming a walnut is really small, okay? So we're gonna just use my however big this is cookie scoop, and we'll just cook them a little bit longer. And I'll just make as many as I have Hershey Kisses for. And I'm not cutting them because I cannot be bothered. But we are gonna go get the dough, and then I never know if you're supposed to spray a baking sheet. Let me Google it. Are you supposed to spray a silicone baking mat? Well, the answer is it's not necessary unless you're making a sticky candy. So that would mean no. But I am just gonna get to making these in the way you would make a peanut blossom. And yeah, it says they cook for 10 minutes, so I'll probably put them in for like 12 minutes. And it smells really good. And yeah. Kisses left over. Chocolate doesn't get left behind by your girl. So I'm gonna get a little snack bag.
The trim.
Did my timer start yet?
The trim is just.
So I am going to put these Kisses in a Ziploc, and these are gonna go sit by my desk in my office. And look at that, they're like pre-peeled. I really did all of this work for future Hannah. So I will check in with you guys when the cookies come out. They need to cool on the baking rack for 2 minutes, and so I'll probably check in with you guys. Got flour all in the crevice of the book. When I am moving them from the baking sheet to the cooling racks. So, see you guys probably in like 15 minutes. Okay, they are done. I don't know how they taste. I ended up making 3 dozen cookies. Some of them look better than others. I think because these recipes, because I have had spreading issues every time I've made cookies from one of these books, and they always use an insane amount of butter, and I feel like that's part of the issue. Is the butter content. But I'm gonna let these cool for probably like 10 minutes and then we'll come give it a try. Okay, we're gonna do a little turn this way so that we've got better lighting, and we're gonna give the cookie a try. And then I'm gonna have them sit here until the chocolate on top is fully hardened. It's not fully hardened yet, but we're gonna give her a go. It's pretty good. As what, like, I think they say like on the back end, you really get that almond flavor. I put in extra almond extract, and I would go as far as to say it could use even more, but I will definitely eat and enjoy these. So these are a win. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And we'll see what Chris says. I'll have him try it for you later. We meet again, friends.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay.
So I'm trying one of the cookies?
Yep, I already tried it for him earlier.
Oh, this is already like it's like waiting for me. So what is it?
It's like an almond cookie.
I do have to preface, I did just brush my teeth.
Oh.
So, I mean, I think it tastes good.
You should have told me you wanted to wait. I literally asked.
Whoopsies. It do be tasting kind of good, from what I can tell. I tricked you.
God, I hate him. Okay, guys. Well, that is all. Goodbye. Alrighty, guys. You guys would have just seen me making cookies on a different day because we got too many sweets in the house right now. But I did finish the lemon meringue pie murder, and oh my god. So this last chunk, honestly, I found kind of boring. So we find out that Michelle's like going on dates or whatever. There was a lot of like weird shame towards Michelle for like having a guy that she was dating back home, but they're not exclusive, and dating somebody there. Also for the way she dressed, being too provocative, was pissing me off. Freddie was acting out and doing a bunch of weird things like mooning people and all this other odd stuff, and everybody was thinking it was because of Jed. And there was this whole line of there was some stolen money that had been discovered that was being used, and so we started to really suspect a bunch of different people, including Jed, because he was all of a sudden spending a lot of money when his job doesn't pay that much, and he never spent like this before. So this is really where like we were starting to drop the seeds that it was Jed. Okay, it's Jed. And so there was this 4th of July celebration going on, and so essentially Hannah and Andrea go to like their, what's it called? What do they call their cottage, the mom's cottage, to go get her a sweater because she was cold during the fireworks for the 4th of July. And she kind of gives them a list of all these other things that they're gonna do. So once they get there, they do these things, and as they're leaving, they see something in the water. They approach and they see a leg. And she's like, oh my god, Andrea, go get a flashlight. So she does. They pull the body out, and it is Freddie, lo and behold. But he is alive, barely. So all of the ambulance are kind of tied up because there was an accident, and so Hannah gets him in the car, drives to the hospital, and he is able to become stabilized. Jed arrives, is very distraught, whatever. She tells Jed that there was something that Freddie kept mumbling about needing to get the gift for him that he found in the trash. So Hannah is back at the bakery doing some baking and having some thoughts and feelings, and she's connecting the dots. Basically that this person, Speedy, there's this guy named Speedy that was basically, so sorry. Hannah went to Rhonda's apartment. It's not really important why she went there, but she found a letter and it referenced somebody named Speedy and how Speedy died. Hannah then connected the dots that Speedy was this guy, Davy Aspen, who Jed knew from prison, who was in there for robbing a bank. So she kind of connects the dots that she thinks that what Rhonda was doing when she was going to get those pickup mementos from the apartment, or from the estate, was to get the money that had been hidden there for all of these years. When she went to go get it, Jed killed her, stole the money from her. Now that Hannah's connecting the dots, Jed happens to show up, smacks her, or not smacks her, but like smacks the door closed of the cooler while she's in it, locks her in it to die. Hannah is able to basically like short circuit the electrical, which sets the alarm off, which brings the police there, and she saves the day, and it was Jed. I ended up giving this one 2 stars. This is my least favorite of the books. I think I can get past like the weight comments and whatever because of the time that this was written, but the amount that we talked about her needing to lose weight, and at the end she realized that her and Andrea's pants got mixed up and that's why they were so tight, because they weren't even hers. And she's like, are you sure? And Andrea's like, I keep wanting to call her Andrea because that's like one of my best friend's names, but they say it as Andrea. So Andrea's like, yeah, I put those on and they were huge. And then all of the comments about what Michelle is wearing and who Michelle is dating, it just like has aged so incredibly poorly. So we had to give this 2 stars. But with that being said, I think the next one is the Fudge Cupcake Murder. So keep your eyes peeled and I will see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a lemon emoji down below if you made it to the end. And I'll see you next time. Bye.